Welcome back to Smashing Heads Podcast. This is our recap for All Stars Season 2, Episode 3. My name's Zach. I'm joined by my wife, Hannah.
Hey, hey, hey.
My best friend, Jake.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Pretty good.
You're pretty good.
You're darn right I am.
You're pretty good.
We can't talk about
You're
anything.
darn right.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's right. We can't talk about it.
I know this is not the kind of open you look for, Zach. I may need to get up and go get my laptop.
Okay. Why?
Because for some reason I can't find my notes. Oh, wait. Nope.
They're not on your phone?
They should be, because I definitely watched this episode.
Okay, so what happens if we don't have any notes? All we'll have to do is just have to do the fantasy at the beginning of the next episode.
So I'd have to watch it again.
Yes.
If you messed up your notes, then yes.
Do you... Oh.
What?
Here we go. Found them. Bam.
Do you not do... What do you...
Well, I did it different this week, because I watched the main show
Oh, you put them at
and
the bottom.
All Stars.
No, I do them as all separate things. She does them all as one big note.
Yes.
Right.
I have one note for All Stars and I have one note for the main
I just
season.
do every episode as its own thing, so it's a standalone I can pull in and out of.
You typically stand alone anyways, Zach.
That's right. What I was going to say is anyone who doesn't necessarily follow us on social media or hasn't seen it, but listened to the last episode, which was the main show, not the last All-Stars recap, the dog that you lost was waiting at your front door when you got done recording.
Happy,
were you going to say happy birthday?
Yeah,
Happy birthday to the dog.
I was so annoyed just because it was the night before my parents were picking him up. I'm just like, why tonight? Why? Because it was cold too, man. It's freaking cold. Mm-hmm. And I got home. But right as we ended that night, my mom shot me another screenshot because she was tracking the dog, and it said he was right across the street from my house. I was like, oh, he's going back to the house.
He was on like a different street entirely, but still in your neighborhood previously.
Yeah. And so I was like, I got to get over there. And then when I got there, I got out of the vehicle and walked, I don't know, maybe 50 feet. I started calling his name, and he came running from my front door like he was already there. And I couldn't be mad at him anymore.
He was waiting to get in.
Yeah, I couldn't be mad at him anymore because I'm just like, buddy, you made it home.
He learned his lesson, though, right?
He better not do it again, man.
Did you fix where he dug out?
No, I need to, though.
Yeah, you do.
So, Razor's fine.
Razor's not going to do anything.
No, he ain't going to get through there.
No, but just you don't want to do that next time and keep them and then forget
about it.
But that was...
Because he knows it's there because he dug it.
I think a sign of the good things to come. Things are looking up in the Ingle household.
Hey, everything circles back around.
Amen.
Like fashion.
Yeah.
Like a boomerang.
Yeah.
You throw it out, and it comes right back to you.
That's not really a circle.
But I never had it to throw out either.
Yeah. Huh, what now?
I never had said boomerang to throw out either.
Well, sometimes they throw themselves.
Did you ever have boomerangs growing up?
No.
I had Nerf ones.
I don't know how those things work, man. Like, how does it...
It's aerodynamics.
Science.
How does it just, like, coming back to you?
I don't know how they figured it out. You know, I believe, I may be wrong on this, but I believe that like indigenous people in Australia used them to like hunt. Like they were accurate with them.
And so they got like a bunch of cat and boomerangs over there.
What now?
They got a bunch of cat and boomerangs over there.
Cat and boomerang.
Cat and boomerang.
Captain? Is that what you're trying to say?
Like Captain. You never heard of Captain Crunch?
Yeah, but it's saying
he
said
Captain Crunch.
He said CATN boomerang. Cat and boomerang.
CAP''N.
I got it now. Yeah. I don't know. Clearly it wasn't around back then. But I believe
you know what Captain Boomerang is. You watch the Suicide Squad?
Was his name Captain Boomerang?
Was it not?
I thought it was just Boomerang.
I don't know.
I don't think his name's just Boomerang.
Maybe not. I didn't put that together if it was. He's an ancillary character at best.
Well, let me hook you up, Zach. Because that was one of your favorite movies.
Yeah. I don't even remember how we got on the subject of boomerangs. Oh, circles are not...
Captain Boomerang.
That's why I didn't put it together.
It's not Captain or Catten.
Well...
My happy dude tonight, y'all.
Happy, which we can't talk about.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Well,
Skippy-doo dog.
The dog's back. It's back with its owners, and we are...
Zippity-doo-dah.
That is true. What'd she say?
I'm also not pulling my hair out of my head.
Skippity? It's definitely a Z.
Yeah, it's zippity.
We can't always say everything on here.
Anyway, specialistpodcast.com/store is all of our merch. Perfect Christmas gifts. There's, like we've said, there's plenty of duvets available. Wall art, skateboards, phone cases, laundry bags. I can't even name all the things. That's how many things there are.
Baby clothes?
I actually, no, still not that. I might get around to doing that before the holidays. It's just I have to go in and manually do it for each thing. But beyond that, patreon.com/SmashingHeadsPodcast, which we are watching through Survivor still, but I did find out it's not on Netflix anymore. So we have to...
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's on Paramount Plus, though, which we have that, because obviously we're watching All-Stars.
We really screwed up, didn't we?
Yes, it's just on a completely different streaming service now. Because Netflix licensing changed, and they have different seasons now than what they started with. So those are on Paramount Plus now, and some other ones are on Netflix. So we're still doing that. We're that's our plan for this coming week. Hopefully,
I'd say we can do something this week.
Yeah. So we're
understand we got lives.
Yeah, we got lives, guys. Yeah,
and this is very much a part of it. But there's a lot within the context of our lives.
Well, and it's a lot to recap two simultaneous airing shows that are the same but different.
Yeah.
And come out less than 24 hours apart. They come out like 5 hours apart because one premieres like 7 p.m. The other one comes out at like midnight or like 1 a.m. or whatever it is. And that's very annoying.
And to add another thing on top of it.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You have our word. We're going to record Survivor this week.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to happen. Maybe two.
I'd say let's knock out
plan
two.
on one because
okay. Well, you see
Well, you see the disparity here.
Yeah,
guys.
I
you see why
said,
things don't
two.
happen around here.
I would like to do two, but I'm working this weekend, and Jake has some big stuff going on this weekend too.
Oh boy, definitely do.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, and if you don't follow us on Twitter, Instagram, that type of thing, that's where you would have found out firsthand about the dog returning. So make sure to do that. Also, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There's nothing All-Stars related. So let's not worry. There's some other challenge related stuff, but nothing pertaining to this. So let's just go ahead and get into an episode which had a lot of people upset at one person in particular, apparently.
A real 180.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
No, to me though, we'll get into it. But this episode starts with a Nas song.
You got really excited about that.
I did, but I was like, something's weird about this song, and they kept editing out the word gun. It's get yourself a gun, but it's like get yourself, and it just like repeats. And it's a great song. It's Nas is the best rapper of all time, and it was good because they had just taken out two people in elimination, so it makes sense. But then they edited out the word that made it sound like you're taking someone out. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, he is definitely better than Lil Wayne.
Oh, well, that's
I'll
not
say
even
that.
that's not
Nobody
even a debate.
even listens to Lil Wayne
I can't believe anybody ever did.
No,
listen to
there's
Lil
still
Wayne.
a lot of people that say he's like top 5 of all time.
He is not good. Like, he's never
not
been
popular
good.
like he was like 10, 15 years ago.
I don't know how anybody's ever listened to him.
Yeah. I never liked Lil Wayne. Like we had some friends that did, and it was just
we had friends that named their kid Carter.
I wouldn't necessarily call us friends, but sure, that did happen.
Right.
For his namesake.
I forgot that was the story there.
So, how did you guys feel about Tina bringing prank shorts?
I like it. That's fun. Again, fun things that we're looking for in the main show that we don't get.
I didn't know you could buy dissolvable swimming trunks.
Oh yeah, I know of other people that have done that to like their husbands.
You grew up in East Tennessee, so
yeah.
Cause at first I was like, how are these prank shorts? I was like, he put them on, like he's got to know that. But
well, that's bad on him. Like, come on, what is Tina doing with men's swim trunks on this trip?
Oh, there's a problem. Yeah, and it's also like he's been on these. Like he knows there's a pool almost every single house. Has there ever been a house that maybe the Fresh Meat 2 because it was in the winter in like Canada, but they had a hot tub.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like there's always water. There's always water.
Here's my thing. It took a while to see that Ryan had dissolvable shorts because Tina had this big like confessional where she's talking about, oh, I packed a bunch of special items and was just being real vague about it. And I was like, what on earth did she pack? And I don't understand where she's going with this.
I thought it might be at first like sexual things.
That was like the impression that she was giving. And I was like, why is she talking about this?
You know, some people talk about it. Never mind, I can't. There was rumors about one of the most recent seasons about something along those lines. Which we can't get into on here. But anyway, yeah, they're, I guess, slow dissolving. Because even when he got out of the water, he thought he just split them in the front. But I guess they just dissolve over time.
It's like a warhead.
Probably.
Like, they take a few minutes. Like, you've got to, like, swim in them.
Probably got them
a
at
while.
Spencer's Gifts.
How ugly does your face get when you put a warhead in there?
You know, I couldn't tell you the last time I had a warhead.
Them things are bad, boy. Get that black cherry in there.
I used to, like, when I was like 10 or so, they used to be all I would get from like gas stations were all different warheads.
Why?
Because they were okay. Yeah.
My cousin Brittany was like that. That was always her favorite.
Well, then go ask her.
Favorite candy ever, and she would eat them constantly. And she made me try one time, and I put it in my mouth and immediately spit it out. And then
You're probably allergic to it.
no, I ran my tongue under running water in the kitchen faucet for like 20 minutes because I was like, I need this to stop.
I like how she looked at you and went, "Why?"
And
then was like, "My cousin Brittany did that."
The exact same thing. So I'm used to this concept. Yeah.
No, my cousin Brittany. Zach doesn't like the way that she eats.
That has literally nothing to do with anything you're talking about.
Oh my god! What?
She just has interesting taste buds.
No. Here that has nothing to do with anything. What happens is
What is she eating sideways?
No. Here's
No, this is a running thing for years.
At every like family thing, we always somehow she ends up sitting across from me, and she's one of those people that if you know how like Thanksgiving or Christmas there's like a lot of different types of foods, right?
Yeah.
She just will take her fork and whatever and basically just like mix it all together and like gets like
so it's like a plate of
it's like
Has she already eaten off of this fork too?
Yes.
Oh, that's a problem.
It's like she'll eat like mashed potatoes with chocolate cake with like yams with, and it's just all
cranberries.
It's like it's all going the same place.
And like the Jello fruit salad thing.
Yeah, it's like
y'all don't say anything to her. Nobody says anything.
It's just a thing.
It's just her thing that she does.
It's like you've like put it out for like an animal later. Like it's like it's all mixed together. Like who cares? And now it's disgusting to watch.
And like at any time that we're all together, Zach will like he'll try to get seated first, and he's like, if we sit way over here, this is it. And then it never ever fails. She always sits directly across from him, and he gets so upset.
It's almost like
it's so funny.
It's like if everything just like tasted exactly the same, but it had different textures, so it didn't matter what. It's like, oh, who cares? It's all together. It's all fine. And it's like, no, like that's a lot of like converging flavors and like textures and stuff.
It's the textures.
It's weird. It's like you're feeding someone in prison or something. I don't enjoy it. But it has nothing to do with her enjoying warheads or whatever.
I love how from all of that she went, Zach hates how she eats.
Yeah, I know. It has
I love
absolutely nothing to do with it.
We actually talked about it like a day or two ago. He was like, because she was
Thanksgiving like a day or two ago.
she didn't come because she lives out of town. She lives a few hours away, so she didn't come. And like he brought
Stop
up
saying that, man.
He brought up a few days after Thanksgiving, he was like, you know, I'm not mad that she didn't come because that means she didn't have to sit across from me while she ate.
Yeah,
and he was like really grateful for it.
Thankful for, you'd say.
Yeah, thankful.
Well,
I think it's funny.
Jody's not thankful for having to play the game because it's hard for her. You know, she's not that type of person. Great competitor. She's not one to like be mean, which is like the exact opposite of Tina. So her and Tina are going to butt heads. Also, Tina smartly knows like Jody's probably the person to try to take out of this game because,
well, yeah,
like unlike most of the people that are on this show, like her job is to like keep army recruits in shape or something like that.
Yeah,
it was something along those lines. So the next big thing has got to be like the trigger, like, turning point in this episode. And it again, like, it's a weird subject for us because obviously, like, it's two black women doing each other's hair, and it stems from that. But more so, I think it stems from Sophia with the way, I guess, Ayanna did her hair. It brought back a memory of, she said, when she was a kid who just moved from Haiti, that they had, like, put her hair the same way, and she got bullied for it. And so that's one of those, like, deep recessed things that, like,
it was childhood trauma.
Exactly.
But Ayanna didn't have a way of knowing that was going to be a trigger for her.
And that's what made this situation complicated, because you don't want to, you're not blaming Sophia for having that reaction, but then you can't, if you're Sophia, like, get mad at Ayanna if she didn't know. And it's like, it's fine to, like, there's things that different people have that, like, trigger certain emotions or whatever, and especially if you were bullied at a very, like,
impressionable age.
Yeah, like, turning point in your life, like adolescence, like, that's gonna bring back weird memories. But to me, from watching it, it didn't seem like Ayanna was doing anything malicious in that moment. Now later, Ayanna did do things that were malicious, but it like, I don't know, it was like, it seemed to, like, blow up out of nowhere. And, like, again, I'm not blaming Sophia for having that reaction, but it's just like, I don't understand how Ayanna was supposed to know that.
Yeah.
Unless she was told.
Yeah, which they didn't say that she knew or anything.
Before we watched this episode, because, you know, it airs at, like, 1 a.m. on Thursdays. We're not going to stay up and watch it at 1 a.m. on Thursdays because we have to work.
I would, but you're... yeah.
But there are some people that stay up and watch it, and then on the Challenge Facebook groups, like, people will post, like, not spoilers, but they'll post, like, things from the episode. And I had seen Thursday morning at work, I had seen someone post, like, Ayanna making a real turning point, and, like, she was the villain in this episode. And so once we got to this point, I looked at Zach and I was like, is that what everybody's mad about? Because Sophia had specifically asked for a certain type of braid, and Ayanna did a different braid.
Which I don't understand, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't understand, like, what she was asking for versus what she got.
I will say, eerily, so I'm not making light, but I can relate to asking for something specific to be done to my hair.
And not getting it.
The thing is, hers was tied to a very traumatic period.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I'm not trying to liken the two, but mine wasn't tied to a tragic event, and I was still mad about it.
Yeah, no. Like that was the thing. Because we had not seen the rest of the episode yet, but I thought, oh, well, maybe this is what people are mad about, because Sophia, one, she had a childhood trauma trigger, but two, Ayanna did not give her what she asked for.
Yeah,
she did a different type of braid and said, "Oh, just trust me, this will look really good." But it's not what Sophia asked for. So if you're asking for someone to do something specific, you're allowed to get upset when they don't do that specific thing and try to, like, pass their own judgment on you instead.
Yeah, I think Ayanna's point of view on that was, like, oh, just trust me, like, it's gonna look good. Like, I can see, like, what I'm doing. And it was not what Sophia asked for, apparently, because that other type has a tie to her that, like, it brings her back to a very unpleasant place, it seems. Mm-hmm. And because what she said, she's like 40 now. Like, she said she'd been working the same job for like 20 years, and this was kind of like a refreshing point in her life, was doing the challenge and that type of thing. So it seemed to, like, it was just two people that were not on the same page. It didn't seem malicious. Ayanna did do not what Sophia wanted, but it was like, trust me, like, I'm going to make it look good, but it's just, there's so many things happening at the same time, like, on a, like, psychological level during that it's just a disaster, honestly. And so that already, like, sets the tone of the episode, which I was like, if that's what they're referring to as far as Ayanna being a villain, like, yeah, she didn't do what Sophia wanted, but, like, to me watching it didn't seem like she wasn't, like, saying, oh, I'm going to make her look dumb. Like, it was nothing like that. It was just like... trust me. Let me just do it.
Up until this point, we were under the impression that they were like pretty good buddies.
It seemed that. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't honestly. I don't know much about Sophia. If like, I didn't watch that Road Rules season or whatever. And some people in our Slack group said that it's very surprising that she ever did the challenge to begin with, and then especially surprising that she came back just based on her personality type. Some people just like that do that type of thing on the front end don't realize kind of what they're getting into. There's a lot of people that were on the Real World that never. I mean, Mike's kind of like the biggest anomaly as far as people you would never expect on the challenge to end up coming on the challenge.
Right.
I'd kill for him to come back.
Yeah.
For an
All-Star
All-Star season,
3.
I would lose
no way we'll ever see
my
him again.
mind.
If they did like a Friends thing, like with Leroy, you might could get him back.
I'd lose my mind if he came for an All-Star season.
So anyway, that kind of like sets the tone of the episode, and it's not a great tone. And so we get into the daily. You find out it's 2 teams, and so 2 representatives per each team. Basically, we saw this format a lot last season, where if you win, those 2 representatives have the power, and if you lose, those 2 are going up for elimination.
Very old school.
Yes,
thing.
And it works.
It does
every
work.
time.
Yeah.
And so Tina and Darrell are the representatives for the black team, and then Ryan and Ayanna are the representatives for the green team. But what Ayana's point was is like, it doesn't matter how we do in the daily. Like, I got that life shield. If I need to use it, I can.
Yeah.
And which is smart. Like,
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, if you can save yourself. If your team's going to like fight about who's going to go up for the representative, just take it and then know you can save yourself. So it's called Around the Block. I like these type of dailies where it's like 1, even teams, and then 2, like puzzles, and then more stuff, and then another puzzle. Because it's a mix of like endurance and cardio and like carrying stuff, but sometimes like the guys would be the only ones carrying the blocks or whatever, because just height. Like when you have like MJ who's like 6'4", and then you have someone else running behind him that maybe like 5'3", it's hard to run with those. So I don't know. Oh, what was the name of that song that was playing during this?
I didn't write it down.
Oh, there was a song playing, and I was like, I know this song, but I only know it from commercials.
Oh,
And it turns out it's a song from a Six Flags commercial.
yeah, it was the
Sweet child of mine.
it
not
was
that.
the Six Flags theme song, because I almost started singing. I was like, why do I know this?
You'd know the song
It
when you hear it.
was We Like to Party, the Venga Bus, Six Flags theme song
Yeah,
by the Venga Boys.
I wouldn't know it from that, but do you have it playing, like where you can
I-
play it real quick?
I can.
Oh, yeah, Ian. Crank that thing.
Put it in the mic. So this isn't the part that I was talking about. That's these are not great parts, but
Think of the old man with the cane dancing.
you don't know this song for real?
It's not registering.
That part should register. I didn't necessarily think it was Six Flags, but I was like, it does remind me of amusement parks. And then she looked it up.
No, the name of the song even has Six Flags in it.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, that's probably their most famous like use for it. Did you see Steve was wearing special gloves during this daily? He was wearing gloves, and then he had tape all the way up, like halfway up his arms.
That old man.
I don't remember him.
Yeah, he danced to that song.
Well, I don't remember the song, Ian.
You didn't. We're past that. Did you see that,
Him? Yeah.
Steve?
No, I didn't see the gloves.
Yeah, he
You
wore
got to
gloves.
think he's a hand model, so he can't risk.
Oh,
he can't risk
yeah.
having his hands getting beat up carrying.
That's his
and,
career.
Yeah. I was like, that's a very interesting take. I wonder if he's going to do that for most of the days. Now, at one point towards the end, he took them off. And so he just had the tape up his arms. But, like, he had, like, thick gloves on and that were, like, I'd say almost to his elbow, of at least halfway up his forearm of just, like, gaff tape or something, or kinesis tape or something like that.
Before it got close enough to see that it was tape on his arm, Zach thought
I
that it was like the full
like evening gown gloves like that.
He was like, "This is what like fancy ladies wear."
You know, like,
I was like,
Well, they got
"What?"
gloves even longer that they used to artificially inseminate cows.
okay, that's
oh,
true.
Oh, okay.
I know that from Jackass.
Yeah, well, they go like all the way up to the shoulder and stuff.
But
Oh,
those are
like
usually
that.
like plastic.
You ever seen that happen?
No, and I don't want to.
I went on a field trip one time where
To inseminate a cow?
we watched it.
They did that on a field trip?
Yeah.
That's weird.
It was some agriculture class or something.
Okay.
Were you in ag classes?
It isn't
It'd be
easy.
weird if he went to the field trip and he wasn't. He's like, oh, you guys are looking at cows? I'm coming. Yeah.
I'll skip today.
Wearing gloves. And actually someone else in our Slack group noticed that as well. And I just think that's funny. I hope he wears them throughout the rest of the time that he's on there. Because he can't risk, scratching those pretty things up. Those are his money makers.
I couldn't look at his nail beds because he was wearing gloves.
Oh, yeah, you are supposed to look at his nail beds, hand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what happened here, but I think Jasmine had a confessional comparing herself to Tina. And I was like, Jasmine wishes she was Tina in all areas of the challenge.
Tina was just being really loud and
That's what it
yelling,
was.
and Jasmine was like, "Man, if that's how loud I was, why didn't anybody tell me to shut up?"
She was basically saying like, yeah, I'll sit you down, or like saying something like, I'm not going to listen to you. And I was like, Tina was so much better at the challenge than Jasmine ever was.
Yeah.
Well, it was an interesting comparison that Tina made of herself versus Alyana, because they were both the female captains or whatever of their teams, and everybody on Ayana's
Representatives, I think technically.
everybody on Ian's team was like, ugh, she's on a power trip from the elimination. She's telling everybody what they're going to do and what they can't do, but didn't really give any direction. Just said, hey, you're going to do this daily the very best that you can, and we're going to win the daily, but didn't give direction. Whereas Tina was like, I don't want to be like that. I'm going to give everybody direction, tell who to do what and where to put it. And then she said she can't let the power go to her head because heavy lies the crown.
Yeah, Tina to help Tina, her team was way more stacked than Ayana's team.
Yes.
Were they drawn it at random?
Well, he just said you're going to be in two teams, and they all were just kind of standing near each other, and they're okay, well, we're just gonna...
they got into their own teams, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, and
Oh.
but they just kind of made a natural divide in the group, and one side was very heavily favored.
Yeah.
And it was the black team, which was Darrell and Tina's team. Already those captains compared to Ayana and Ryan are a lot stronger.
Yeah.
And so the black team wins the first puzzle, and so then they go into the cenote, I think is what they said, which I didn't. That means we didn't know what it meant, so I looked it up, and it just means a natural sinkhole.
Or watering hole.
Yeah.
or
Say that
something.
again.
The cenote where they
Cenote.
where they went down, and this is
They're
all
in
filmed
Mexico.
This is all filmed in Mexico. But it was that area where the water was, where they ran down those steps for the second part.
Okay.
That was
do you not remember that?
The earth made that
You don't
hole
remember
and
them
filled it
getting
with
in the water and swimming
Yeah, I
for
remember
pieces?
them. I just don't remember anybody saying anything about a cenote.
TJ said
said
it
it
a couple
several
times,
times.
and then in the confessionals they said it a couple
Because
times.
I was like, what is a cenote?
Yeah. And so Jody did have a good idea for her team, which was the first two people who are really strong swimmers to push all their pieces up to the
There
front.
are fantasy points involved in that.
Yeah,
It's
I
such a
thought
good
that. I was like,
idea.
that's actually that's a
Work
good
smarter,
idea.
not harder.
That's a good strategy, because especially if you have people who may not be great swimmers, put someone that's going to take the time on the front end that's good at swimming, rather than have them go back and forth each individual person. And so, I believe she was on the team that lost, though, so it didn't ultimately matter, but it still was a good strategy. Because then the black team wins. They won before the green team really even got the second puzzle going, it seemed. So we find out the black team wins, and Ayana has to pick her replacement right then to go into elimination for her.
And lo and behold, who does she pick?
I've never been a fan of the real militant type. She's very militant. You realize
Who?
that?
Ayana?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see that.
You get what I'm saying?
I mean, but you're not a fan of our military.
That's not what I said.
Oh,
Okay,
oh,
that is
Chico's
not-
not gonna
Our
like
top
that.
five vet Chico's
hold on
gonna be
a-
upset
wait a
about
second.
that.
All right, let me rephrase
Oh,
that. Militant.
Here we go.
I don't like when people are militant in a non-militant setting.
Everybody take a A shot of water when you hear Jake say militant.
You get what I'm saying? It's like when people come in to like we've played in a lot of like we've been musicians for a long time. We play in a lot of bands, right? I can't stand when people come in. That's not a militant setting.
You're really pronouncing
He's really this word.
And so like we've had you remember this guy?
Fingers.
So anyway, his last name was something what you crank your car up with.
Ignition?
No, what you crank.
That's an R. Kelly song.
Or you unlock your door with.
A key?
But plural.
I genuinely don't have an idea who you're talking about.
Right, well, anyway, he'd come in. We will be great. We will be perfect. And I'm like, dude, this ain't Remember the Titans, my guy. You know.
I don't.
Was that a line in Remember the Titans?
Yeah.
It was something along.
It was Hayden Panettiere was yelling it.
Yeah. But she picked Sophia.
Yeah. And like very cold-heartedly.
Yes.
She said it's a gift.
There has to be from all we've seen on the show. It's a very stark like 180 turn on Iona. So to me, it feels like there had to have been more that went on than just that one interaction. Even if it was just stewing on it for like a day or so, or like Iona being like, I don't know why she's upset, and you know how when you kind of like remove yourself from a situation and you get to talking more and more about it, sometimes you can be a little bit self-righteous and not really remember the other person's perspective. Because she was just like, oh yeah, it's her, 100% her. Like there was no thought put into it.
Well, she told TJ she can give it her all or she can go home.
Yeah,
which is harsh. But here's the thing:
true.
When they first had their spat, and Sophia got upset with her, Iona left the room and said, "Well, if that's how she's going to be, then I don't need her in my life." And like she was quick to cut ties. So I don't know that there's anything that we missed.
I mean, maybe Iona just is at a place in her life where she is like, you know what? I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. I got 4 kids. I don't want to worry about anybody else's stuff. Like, she may just in real life be like, oh, if you're going to be, like, in her view, like, dramatic or, like, cause problems, like, I'm just going to cut you out. It doesn't care. There's no emotion in it. It's as cold-hearted as you can be.
Which kind of sucks because it seemed like Sophia thought that they were really friends.
Yeah, and I didn't think Sophia...
I don't think she did anything wrong.
I don't think she did anything wrong either. I do think it was a big misunderstanding on both sides. But it was very just like, I think I honestly said like, I don't trust her, and she was already mad at her. So like Sophia was already mad at Iona, so she can just stay mad or get more mad.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, good Lord, you're just laying it all out there then. So you know what? I guess don't burn any other bridges. Just completely desecrate the one that you came across on, which was Sophia at this point. So, Darrell and Tina have to pick the next 4 names, and Tina had a very interesting strategy she wanted to use, which was to just jumble them all up and pick 4 random people.
I couldn't believe how Darrell just went with all this. No thought.
I mean, she is like the type of personality that like
I get it, but
she'll drain you until you finally just say
well, she
whatever
just is
you
like,
want.
hey, this is what we're doing, and you're gonna like fight her over it. And I don't think he wanted to fight.
He literally told to their faces, Cohutta and MJ, that he would throw in Steve to keep them safe.
Well, because they were all in a room together, like
Yeah.
MJ and Cohutta.
And
all.
then Cohutta said, I'm fine with Steve because Steve's not me. I'm Cohutta.
Yeah. Darrell after that was like, whoa, like we're not doing that. Like that's such a bad like game strategy because you could put it in like your best friends on accident. And so, Tina like said, take the winners' names off. So they took everyone off the black team. So that left very few people, like 50% of the crowd basically. And then they just start, okay, we're going to pick one at a time, saving people. And they're like, all right, well, I can't let you take this person, and I can't let you take that. And it goes down, and then it turns out it was MJ and Cohutta.
No, it was
MJ and Tech. Sorry. And then Jody and John A. Because, again, Jody and Tina don't really get along. So Nehemiah decided to use his life shield to save Tech because he called in Tech last season and sent him home
Super considerate.
Yeah, it was because he did not have to do that.
Yeah, I think that's a good. Here we're going to handshake, and now we're even, and it's behind us.
And like, again, like Tech seems like a good guy. He likes to get naked a lot, but like
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, we haven't seen anybody upset with him.
Hey,
I know people get naked on the regular. They're good people.
What now?
I don't know what just came out of his mouth, but when you come into this earth, you come in naked. That's how God intended it.
Yeah. So basically, Nehemiah saves him, and then they're like, all right, we're going to flip for it between Cohutta and Steve for the last pick. And then they don't even do that. Darrell just buries the two names and like leaves a little bit sticking out. Tina just spins around and picks one. She picked Cohutta, which sucks. And so Cohutta walks down there, which I can't say what he did, but it was the perfect Cohutta moment where he's like, well,
shoot fire.
Yeah.
Honeysuckle. We can do that because we're Southern.
Shoot bar honeysuckle.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff my dad says.
I love Cohutta on here. I'm so glad. Well, we'll get into all that.
I'm so glad that he's here. What doesn't make sense to me is Darrell told MJ and Cohutta those were the two people he was saving, and he was throwing in Steve to keep both of them safe. Mm-hmm. So why did Darrell not pull their names? He didn't pull either one of their names to keep them safe.
Well, part of it was he right off the bat, half the people are gone, and he wasn't expecting that. Like, everyone on the black team is safe because Tina's like, we're going to keep everyone who won today. And then he has other relationships that aren't guys that he's like, we gotta save on here. So he saved Kendall at one point. He's like, because him and Kendall are real close, and so you got to think like he's picking those type of names too, and so he picked Kendall, and then that left out like whatever, because he just thought it was gonna like Darrell was not happy with how this turned out. He kind of got railroaded.
Didn't he save Casey?
I think he did save Casey. And
how about that hand?
Casey says she's got a good relationship with like 95% of the people in the house.
How about that?
Stupid.
Is it?
It is.
It is. I can't wait until she makes the final.
What are you gonna do if she wins this season?
Let's start.
I'll quit this show if Casey.
She won't do it, Zach.
If Casey wins this All-Star season, I'll quit the show. I will. I'll quit it.
Well, after what now?
No, you're good.
I was going to say, after all that all the deliberation, Sophia comes down to see the names and immediately starts crying. And I was just like, she might be kind of checked out at this point. Because we've seen that before where, like, when people, like, sometimes it just hits you, like, when you know you're going into elimination, like, you don't think you can win, and you're already like, well, that means I'm going home. And
I think it's because she saw Jody's name on there.
Yeah, but that doesn't, again, it didn't mean Jody was necessarily going in. Like, it could have been John A that she was going against. I mean, Jody's the scary one out of that for sure.
But John A was awesome last year too.
Exactly. But we'll find out later during the elimination. Jody's never won an elimination.
But
she didn't go into him.
She'd only been in one.
Okay, and she lost.
She lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the challenge was a little bit different back then. Like sometimes you could just completely stay out of eliminations and still do really well. But we get to the selection. Obviously, Nehemiah can't vote because he saved Tech, and Ayanna, I guess, can't vote because she saved herself and nominated Sophia. So MJ starts it off, and he was like, "Hey, I was real mean to Ryan in the duel too." And probably harder than I should have been.
He said he didn't think it would be fair if he was voted in to go against Ryan after the last elimination that they had together.
Yeah, and which I had forgotten that they went against. And I mean, MJ is a lot bigger than Ryan. And so, Sophia, everyone kind of, there's other people talking, but Sophia just looks at the group and's like, I want to go out honorably. I want Jody. And it's like, well, good. That sucks if you're Jody.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things she thought she was going to go home either way.
Regardless. Yeah.
And so you might as well like go out by someone. Because the worst case is you win and you take out one of the top
heavy hitters.
Yeah, one of the top two like females on the show.
worst case, if you lose, it's not like an embarrassing loss.
Yeah.
You lost to somebody who's super strong.
So Jody and Cohutta are the picks after it all kind of like goes around, and
Cohutta had to try really hard not to take it to heart.
it's very lopsided voting, like on both sides.
Yeah.
Basically only 2 or 3 people voted opposite of what the rest of the crowd did, and so it's very clear Jody and Cohutta are the picks, which I was like, man, I was like, Cohutta's probably even smaller than Ryan, but he's more athletic to me, more agile, it seems. So we get into the elimination, I find out it's tic-tac-toe, and I was like, well, this is stupid. And
Yeah, I didn't like this.
I did not like
and
this
then I saw the
elimination.
balls had chicken wire around them, and I was like, they're going to set these on fire. I was like, that's 100%
Just
what they're doing.
because.
And that's what they're, oh, it's on fire. It's like, who cares? That's not an element in this.
It doesn't change how you play.
This
it's
has been
still
the-
tic-tac-toe.
This has been the biggest misstep in all of All-Stars so far as this elimination, I think.
1 and 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the entirety of All-Stars so far. Because I was like, well, this is just a crapshoot, and it's not even like a good elimination to watch.
No.
And it's not like you have to like break something and then run around. It's just like whoever runs there and gets it in. And so
Because there's an element you can add to this to make it good, right?
if you really want to, yeah, and it's not fire. Like adding fire to it doesn't make it a good elimination. We've seen so many times where they add fire, and it's like, well, we're not dumb. We know they're not actually going to like risk burning any of the players. Like they'll have Vaseline over their face if you saw it up close, obviously. But they're using like pyro gel all around that stuff, which burns, but it burns at like a lower temp. Anyway, it's not dangerous in the sense of like, it's not just like they set something random on fire and they're having to like run through a house that's on fire.
Yeah, the fire doesn't do anything.
If anything, it's just a gimmick, and they're other than that, they're basically playing run fast tic-tac-toe. And that's not a good elimination.
No, it's a horrible elimination.
So the guys go first. Cohutta wins round 1 because he's fast. And then he goes in round 2, and he almost puts it in the wrong spot and then switches at the last second, and then Ryan puts it in the wrong spot. And then Cohutta wins. Like, that's it. That's all the elimination was.
Yeah.
It was over and done before you even knew it.
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm glad Cohutta won. I'm glad Jody won. I mean, because I think they're 2 better competitors than the ones that went home. But it's just like, this is bad. And so, apparently, Sophia, though, used to be DJ SoFire.
That's right. Was DJ Sophia.
Oh, was it A at the end?
YA.
Did they spell it out, or is that just how you're interpreting it?
Did they not spell it out? That may be how I'm interpreting
I think she
I
just
didn't
said
see
it.
it spelled
Yeah,
out.
I think she just said it.
But also, I may not have been looking up.
You could be right. I don't know. I was like, oh, fire, because she was like, oh, this is right up my alley.
Yeah.
And the thing is, in the first round, Jody just drops the ball right at the board. And I was like, well, crap. I was like, Sophia should win this easy then.
And she gets, like, Jody ends up getting a full ball run time behind Sophia.
Yeah, like she was there first, but then just dropped it. So Sophia got the middle square, which is always the most important square.
Yes.
And so then, like, she's having to play catch up, but like by the third ball, like Jody's already back in like dead even again. And I don't even have any other notes for this one other than Jody still wins. Like, she still won the first round. And
Sophia, in the second round, Sophia had a brain fart like Ryan did.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
put hers in the wrong spot.
But hers was way worse. Like, she just went in the wrong spot and like just left the whole thing wide open.
Yeah.
Like, at least with Ryan, Cohutta put it in one spot and then moved it in another.
Just kind of faked him out.
Yeah, and Ryan was just thinking, oh, I got to block that. This one, Sophia just put it in the wrong spot, like just outright. And like, people like on the sidelines were like, oh.
Yeah. That means it's over.
Jody won. First elimination win ever. First elimination in 17 years.
That's good for her.
Pretty good.
This is the second week in a row that the 2 people voted into elimination by the House are the 2 that lost elimination and go home.
Which doesn't surprise me. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, you typically vote in... It depends. You vote in weaker players a lot, especially early on if you have friendships with people. Like, again, Leah wasn't friends with anybody. Derek, other than the Cancun people, didn't seem to have like a big friend group other than I guess with Tina when he was a neat.
That's right.
But like it's, I wanted Cohutta and Jody to win, and that's who won. So I was fine with the outcome. I think the elimination was just very bad.
Agree.
It's just not creative at all.
No,
like we almost lost Cohutta, who is a really good competitor and just like really good to watch on TV.
Yeah, I mean it literally, like, going back and looking at last week's elimination, which was super straining, like endurance, physical, and had some mental stuff to it, to then go to this, it's like,
It's almost like we're watching two different shows.
It almost feels like they had something else in mind and then had to, like, at the last minute pivot to, like, oh, well, we tic-tac-toe, I don't know, but set it on fire. And, like, I don't know. It was reminiscent of the duct tape the person to the chair elimination.
I mean, this is stuff you can do in your kitchen at home.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't suggest setting things on fire inside your kitchen and running with them. But
We could do it in the backyard.
that's what I'm saying. If I can do it in my backyard,
It shouldn't be on here.
it shouldn't be on here. If I can sit down and do it on a sheet of paper, it shouldn't be done on here.
So, well, I mean, I guess on that
You can
logic,
tic-tac-toe on a sheet of paper.
you could do some puzzles on paper
You
too.
could get a wide erase board, give 2 different color expo markers, and just have people run to the board. Whoever can make their mark.
Do that in a
faster.
classroom, like
Yeah.
in a school, Zach.
This was very reminiscent to the Nelson Corey soccer one, where it's literally just, oh, let's take something that already exists, soccer, tic-tac-toe,
And set it on fire.
and just set the other part on fire, and maybe that'll be good. And it's like, no, it's not good.
And that's historically one of the worst eliminations I've ever seen.
Well, that's just because they also just really sucked at soccer. But
Yeah.
again, just setting something on fire for the sake of it isn't great. You can get away with it when it was, what was it last season, where Big T beat Anissa on the, cause that's already a good elimination, where you're hanging from the ropes and you got to go back and forth. The one that Leroy destroys
Yeah.
everyone on.
Every time Leroy does it, he
Oh
wins.
yeah, well, I don't know what
They
it's
changed
called.
the name, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, well, now it's on fire, and it's like, well, it's not. But this elimination's already good. You just set the top bar on fire for no reason. They did that in Spies, Lies, and Allies with something. They set it on fire. Was it the Logan and Corey one, the tug of war?
Yeah, they set the
Ropes
rope
on fire,
Yeah.
and it went out like 10 seconds into the thing.
Yeah.
like it's
But
just,
it did nothing to add to.
nothing.
No, it didn't
the
change.
game.
It didn't.
It
change
was-
the
It
way
doesn't
you
look
played.
cool.
It-
Again, I can set a fire in my backyard.
Sure.
I can see a fire anytime. I can light a candle in the house, Zach. I can see a fire anytime I want
The
to.
only thing I can think of is the only people I would think that about. Oh, that's really. It's like if you were like 8 and you're like, what? They're on fire.
And what 8-year-olds are watching the challenge?
I bet there's people that watch challenge that are 8. We have. I can guarantee we have listeners who have kids that watch the challenge that are about that age. I mean, we were like teenagers when we started watching.
That's right.
I wasn't 8, but also I wasn't allowed to watch MTV back then.
You found a way.
You know, you always do. So yeah, again, if you're listening to this, producers, setting things on fire doesn't up the intensity unless you're legitimately putting people in danger, which we don't condone that either.
It doesn't. It doesn't make it more watchable.
Yeah.
It doesn't
No.
change the game.
No,
It doesn't make it look cool.
It
So
just-
stop setting things on fire.
it just makes
we don't
you,
care.
it makes you have to wear more protective gear to do a mundane thing.
and it makes there be more setup time.
Probably more insurance
and
costs.
more
too.
insurance costs, and more costs to get those extra supplies.
Yeah, you
Just
got,
stop
You
setting
got to
things on
think. You got to
fire.
call back to like some like producer and be like, "Hey, is it cool if we set this on fire?" And like, "Well, is it going to be worth it?" And like, "Yeah, it's worth it." And like, no, it's.
No, it wasn't.
If they
It
would have
wasn't
just
worth
sat
it.
down and played tic tac toe, like with the cutthroat where they just slapped each other with fly swatters,
I'd rather have
I'd
watched
rather watch
that.
that than what we watched. Guys, just stop setting things on fire.
Please.
Joe, I almost said Cohutta. Jody and Cohutta both have life shields, and Jody wants to take Tina out. Yeah, that's how the episode ends.
Okay.
It's intense.
I do think that Jody and Tina thing is going to come to like a clash sooner rather than later. But it's also one of those things where they could also just, if they throw each other in, just keep winning eliminations and stay around. Those are, I think, number 1 and number 2 on the female side to win, personally. Who else would be? Maybe, what's her name that's friends with Darrell? Because she's
Kendall?
No.
She is friends with Darrell.
She is,
That is right.
but the one that lives in like San Francisco, I can't think of her name.
Janelle.
Because she's laying low right now, but I think she's going to be.
We've heard a word. Out
Exactly.
Of her.
Yeah.
Other than she lives near
And that's how Darrell
And she
plays.
was a surgeon or surgeon's assistant or something
Yeah, but I
like
don't
that.
remember her being.
I think she could be super athletic. And
Here we go.
Yeah, that's a thing I just do. There we
He's
go.
just
It's
predicting the
coming again.
future.
So yeah, I think it's Jody and Tina are the. I mean, they were the first 2 picks in our draft thing we did.
Yeah.
So, who? Let's superlatives for this episode. Who smashed some heads? You want to go first? You can go first.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to go first?
I don't. I never make note of this.
Oh, I don't either
I
anymore.
know.
It's
I
just-
always make a note.
Because I typically go last, and I try to just do something different.
God, man, I don't know.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, sure.
I put Tina because she brought dissolving shorts.
I'm gonna put Tina just because she just completely like railroaded Darrell into doing it what she wanted. Now it would be diabolical if she was like, I'm gonna give him an idea so stupid that he's gonna have to say no to. So then when I bring my second idea, he has to say yes. And so like, we'll blindly picking people out of a hat or whatever. And he's like, no.
Yeah.
So she got her way on that.
I really don't know. Like, there's not a clear cut who smashed heads. This is a hard one. We smashed Productions head.
I was gonna go that way on the opposite end of this, but who got their head smashed?
Darrell's entire room, because that's who was nominated for elimination after he told everybody in his room that they were going to be safe.
I had it.
Okay.
Oh, Cohutta.
Yeah.
He couldn't believe it when he
I
saw
know,
his name.
that was
He
the
couldn't
that was
believe it.
that was one I
Yeah.
was initially going to say, and then I just wanted to say, we all did because we had to watch an awful elimination that just
That's
added
just
fire.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is for sure the biggest misstep in All Stars so far.
That was bad.
Yeah. So yeah, let's get into. You got your notes?
I do.
All right.
I'm ready, Zach. All right, you got your board pulled up.
I do.
Oh,
Oh, you can't start yet.
Oh, can I? Oh, yeah. Our sponsor is put your shirt on, get wet.
Super soaker.
What's his name?
Brian.
Lonnie
Lonnie
Johnson.
I was gonna say Johnson,
Okay, that's like the most common name in the world.
but I said Brian.
Yeah, that's a lot like Lonnie.
Yep.
Are you
It's the
ready?
same.
Yeah.
Nehemiah walks in and simply says, "We back home, baby." 5 points. Per Sophia, Ayanna floating. 10 points.
Who gets the 10
Who's
points?
floating?
Okay, well, you didn't specify who it went to. I didn't know if you're giving it to it for the quote.
Ryan in his confessional says, "I'm just a fun person." 5 points. Tina brought things. 5 points. She brought dissolvable shorts. 10 points. She got Ryan. -5.
To Ryan.
To Ryan.
He thought it was funny, though.
Well, she got him. So whether he thought it was funny or not, Zach, she got him. Ayanna screwed up Sophia's braids. -10 both ways.
Where's Sophia? Oh, down here.
We get sad Sophia. -5. But I can relate when someone, jacks hair up. 5 points. Okay, we've got Ayanna's power trip. -5. Never flattering power trips.
Militant.
Yeah. Darrell says, "We got all the loud mouths." -5 to the black team.
God.
Hey, don't blame me. Oh, you want me to say?
Yes, blame you. You're the only one doing it.
All right, that's Tina.
I don't know who's all on the black team.
Janelle. Melinda.
And Janelle is not loud.
Jasmine. She is loud.
That's true.
Katie. She is loud.
Yep.
Darrell.
Not allowed, but...
Nehemiah.
Oh, wait. Does Darrell have 2 scores, or did I already do him? I think I already gave him this one.
Ooh,
No,
we're gonna have to rewind.
No, that's just the
Yeah.
one.
All right, so who is after Darrell?
Nehemiah, Tyler, Latarian, Derek.
Tyler, Latarian.
Derek.
Where is Derek? Oh, up here. Okay.
Steve's got the least amount of relationships, -5. Darrell is thinking twice, -5. Only Santa Claus can do that. Or he checks it twice. Never mind.
Okay.
Black team completes. You know what? No, we're not doing that. It's too much.
You better not.
Cohutta at one point just yells, "Watch your hand! Watch your hand!" 5 points.
He might have been talking to Steve.
Very likely.
Smart thing about Jody to push all the pieces to the front. Give her 5 points for that. Hey, Black wins 25 points to.
Hold on. 25. I can probably figure it out just based on Darrell, Cohutta. Tyler.
I've got an order here.
Jasmine. I'm naming them off. Just tell me if they're Nehemiah,
Yes.
Tina,
Yes.
Latarian,
Yes.
Janelle,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Derek K,
Yes.
Melinda.
Yes.
Not Steve, right? Or was Steve on the black? Steve was on the green team.
Steve was on the green team. Is that it?
Yeah. I mean, you can read them back.
Brad?
I'll double
Did
check.
you get Brad?
I did not get Brad.
Oh, I didn't give you Brad the first time.
Yeah, you did. That's why.
-5 and 25.
That's why I didn't get him this time. Okay. So just read them back to me, and I'll tell you if we got it all.
Tina, Janelle, Melinda, Jasmine, Katie,
Yep.
Darrell,
Yep.
Nehemiah,
Yep.
Tyler,
Yep.
Latarian,
Yep.
Derek,
Yep.
Brad.
Yeah. Yeah, I had it. It's just you didn't tell me Brad the first time.
Let's see here. We are going to give. So Darrell and Tina were the reps. We're going to give them an extra 15 because they're safe.
Okay.
Melinda says it's the best feeling ever. 5 points. Ryan and Ayana go straight in. -25. Tina is jumping out of her skin. 5 points. It was good. But yeah, Ayana is safe, so give her that 25 points back.
Okay.
So she chooses Sophia. -25 to Sophia.
Okay.
I skipped over one. She wanted to take the choice upon herself. Didn't put it on her team. 5 points to Ayana. But it was kind of cold. -5. Ayana says it's a gift. -5. That's a bad gift, bub.
So -5 to Sophia?
No, Ayana.
Okay. Well, I thought you meant because she received the bad gift.
Oh, she gave it.
Yeah.
Sophia gave the glory to God. 10 points. Katie says she was once powerful and admirable, but is now an a-hole. -10 to Ayana. Okay, Sophia got her ankle grabbed on and pulled down. -5.
I don't even know what that's in reference to.
Cohutta just simply says, "I'm not Steve, I'm Cohutta." 5 points. You remember that one, Han?
Yeah. Although it was misquoted, but
Yeah.
let's see. Darrell ain't ever been this frustrated in his life. -10. We're gonna give -15 to Jody, John A, MJ, and Tech.
hold on.
Jody,
I know. I just said hold on. I didn't say
John
repeat
A.
it.
John A,
I literally have never said I needed you to repeat any of this.
MJ.
I got it all.
And who? Tech.
Tech. Nehemiah uses his life shield. 15 points to Nehemiah, and we're going to give 15 points back to Tech for being saved. Now Cohutta's nominated. -15. We're going to give him 10 points for what he said upon realizing. Sad Sophia, -5. Sophia just wants to work with grace and integrity. We got to admire that. 5 points. I like those characteristics, Hannah. I don't know about you.
I love them.
But she asked for Jody. That's a -10.
To her or to Jody?
To Sophia.
Yeah.
Cohutta is taking arrows. -5. -25 to Jody and Cohutta for being voted in. Cohutta said, "Game on, Rhino." 10 points.
Is that a Spider-Man quote?
Yeah. 5 points to Ryan for the nickname, though. Solid. No, that was 10 points. I'm sorry. 10 points for the cool nickname. It's your guy. You should be happy. Jody says Tina better be very, very afraid. -10 to Tina. 5 points because the boys were just hyping him up to Cohutta.
What boys?
5 points to Cohutta because the boys were hyping him up.
What boys?
You don't remember it.
I don't.
Brad was one of them.
Great.
MJ was another one. They were coming.
Oh, on the bout when he was pacing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cohutta relives his last elimination loss every day. It's not a good way to live. -10.
Yeah, it's been a while since he had that elimination.
Sophia just shouts hot balls of fire. 5 points. Cohutta hasn't played TikTok since 1992. -5.
Hold on a second. Do you know what you just said?
You said TikTok.
Well,
He hasn't played
well,
TikTok.
I've got it. It's actually auto-corrected to Tic Tac's toe on here.
So what was the point amount for that?
TikTok.
-5. Cohutta hasn't played Tic Tac Toe since 92.
He also hasn't played TikTok since 92.
Ryan screwed up. -10. Cohutta wins. 75. Ryan loses. -50. Cohutta says, "I was on fire tonight." Literally. 10 points.
Okay.
Ryan just simply says, "I'm older, I'm wiser." I'll give him 5 points for it. But -5 because that didn't play out. Made a big mistake, bub. We got DJ Sophia. Yeah, I'll give her 10. Sophia got them wheels on her. 5 points.
I don't know if that's true.
What she said? She got her wheels.
She said that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just giving out because
No,
I was like, she got outran by Jody.
That's subjective.
Yes. Well, no, okay.
Sophia screwed up too. -10. Jody wins. 75. Sophia loses. -50.
Hold on a second. All right.
We're gonna give Jody an additional 15. It's her first ever elimination win.
It's 50%.
Sophia's dancing though. 5 points. Sophia, she simply says, "I went toe to toe with a Titan." We'll give her 10. She also screams. No, she said it in her confessional. F Iana. -10.
Well, she was
Iana.
trying to be real nice and and they say, you know what? F that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it?
-10 Iana. 20 points to Cohutta and Jody. They get life shields. I'm going to give... I figured you'd appreciate this, Zach. I'm going to give 10 points to Tech for the Fast and Furious reference. It's going to get more faster, more furious, more fun, more sun. 10 points.
He was just like... That whole confessional, it was just like... He's like, I'm going to keep talking until they tell me I got to stop. And then he just kept hyping and hyping. And then
Let's keep going.
And then he just laughs at the end.
Yeah, well, we're going to give him an extra 5 for the Fast and Furious reference because we're all fans.
We love the
But
Fast
didn't
and
I just
Furious.
give him 10 for that?
That was just for the quote.
Oh, okay. So okay.
Are you going to disagree?
Well, because he's like,
the quote,
he's like, you'll like it because it's a Fast and Furious reference. So I was assuming that's why I got the points. And he's like,
got the
5 points for a Fast and Furious
10 points for the quote. Because, we're talking about more fun and more sun, too.
Yeah.
But he still made a reference, 5 points. I'm going to give him an additional 10 because he closed it out by saying, "I'm ready to hip and hop because the party don't stop." So 10.
I already did it.
He's a certified rhymer.
I like him, bub. Hey, that, ladies and gentlemen, are your fantasy points for the week. Again, it's brought to you by Put Your Shirt On, Get Wet.
Super Soaker.
Let's take a break. And we're back. Here live, coming to you from the Smashing Heads headquarters.
Yeah, it's like we're on NPR.
Well, it sounds like ASMR.
That segment again is brought to you by Put a Shirt On, Get Wet, Super Soaker.
I don't know what you're doing, but if you had to guess who would be the top scorer for the week.
Don't look, Han.
Don't look. Yeah, don't look at it.
I don't remember who's on. I'm looking for names.
Don't look at my list.
I'm not gonna guess.
Also, who would be the bottom scorer? You think
So I want to say Ayana's the bottom scorer.
wrong. Not even top 2. Bottom.
I'm gonna say, golly,
It's pretty cut and dry, honestly. Like if you think
is it
about
Jody? Is Jody top?
she's not, but she's second.
Is it Sophia?
No, she's second from the bottom.
Are we not? Who's the bottom scorer for the week?
Well, I mean, he's just kind of going up and down. Like I didn't know where you're going with it.
I don't know.
Cohutta and Jody are the 2 top scorers, and then Ryan and Sophia are the 2 bottom scorers.
Oh, well, that makes.
Yeah, it's who won and who lost the eliminations.
Yeah.
I don't know where my head was at.
Because honestly, there wasn't a ton of scoring outside of like Darrell and Tina, other than the people who were in eliminations. So Darrell ended up with 20. Cohutta had 80. Tyler got 20. Kendall didn't even get anything.
Right, okay.
John A, negative 15. And Jasmine was 20. Most of the people that ended up with 20 were just because they won the daily.
Right.
Because they got negative 5 for having loud mouths and 25 for winning.
That's right.
So Brad got 20. Nehemiah got 40. Tina got 45. Latarian got 20. Janelle got 20. Ryan got negative 75.
Wow.
God.
Katie got 20. Ayana ended up with negative 30. Because she had some positive scoring in the middle of there, so it wasn't all awful. And then Derek Kaczynski got 20. Jody got 75. MJ got negative 15. Casey was like Kendall, wasn't even on the board. Tech ended up with 25, exclusively for his last confessional.
Worth it, I think. So.
Steve, negative 5. Melinda ended up with 25, and then Sophia was negative 65. So for the week, Hannah had 125.
I needed it.
Because she had an elimination winner and no losers. I had 60 for the week because Ryan tanked me, and then Ayana tanked me down for that. Between them, I got negative 105.
God.
And then Jake, you had Jody that won an elimination, but you also had Sophia who lost an elimination.
That's right.
So you ended up at 60 for the week. So you and I both scored 60. She scored 125. Now here's the kicker. Mm-hmm. She had negative 80 as of last week.
Yeah,
She's still in the negative.
it.
So she's positive
yeah.
now.
Positive.
But I am
I'm positive you're negative, Han. So,
So she has 45 now. She has 45 in third place. Jake, you have 100 in second place, and I have 320 in first place.
We're all pretty tight.
You guys are 60 points.
320, and I have 45.
Yeah, you guys
That's not close.
You guys are 55 points apart, but I'm 220 ahead of you, Jake.
Yeah, well, this ain't no spies, lies, and allies where I'm like a 2,000.
Oh, I know,
points ahead of you guys.
but that's not a good sign if it keeps trending this way. But I had negative 80 after the first week. It's just last week.
Well, the thing is, like,
Ayana gave me a ton of points.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm the one that lost 2 players before this week.
Well, last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was the only one. I was the only one that had lost players off of my team. That's why I was in such high negative.
Yeah, no, I mean we're here. We got it.
Y'all should have heard them going during the break. You guys are hilarious tonight.
I'm just updating our notes to who went home. Ryan is the top drafted person to go home so far. He was 6th on my team. Other than that, it's been Leah, which was 7th on Hannah's team, and Derek, which was 8th on Hannah's team, and then Jake, you just lost your 8th person.
That's right.
And then, but my 8th person was Ayana, who destroyed last week. So I'm okay keeping an eye on and losing Ryan for the time being. But we're still on a weird schedule. It's currently Tuesday. Thanksgiving obviously pushed everything back, and we wanted to record the main show But as of this week, we'll be back on our normal schedule, as far as I know, where we'll record Spies, Lies, and Allies on Thursdays like we've been doing, and then All-Stars on Saturday or Sunday, depending on how our schedules go. Because Sundays aren't necessarily a good day sometimes, but sometimes they are. So, like I said, top show, get all your Smashing Heads merch, smashingheadspodcast.com/store. Again, you can get the duvets were on sale last week.
Y'all missed it. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that was the time.
It was a time. Like someone in our Slack group was like, "Oh, if you get enough of those, like if 5 people bought them, you'll have enough to buy these like $600 Crocs." And I was like, "Well, let's be clear. We don't make $125 per thing. Like, I don't know what the margins are on the duvets, but it's probably like $10 because they have to make all that stuff custom. We don't. It's not full profit.
We would have to sell.
We're not sitting on a warehouse full of duvets.
We would have to sell like 1,000 duvets to buy those stupid Balenciaga Crocs, which I would love to sell 1,000 duvets, but the money's not going to those Crocs.
What are you going to do when I show up for Christmas? I have Zach.
Well, I gotta here. I gotta.
Are we getting each other Christmas gifts? We've never done that.
We've never done that.
I got a surprise.
Should we do that?
My mom called me this morning and she was like, "Hey, you were talking about you maybe wanted some furry Crocs," and she's like, "Are you still wanting those?" She's like, "Your grandmother wants to know what to get you for Christmas," and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's fine."
No.
And she,
No.
I was like, "Do I have to decide right now?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm in a store, and they were doing a special like Black Friday, Cyber Monday type thing." And she's like, "They're all half price."
No.
Oh God! So
Well,
they
you
brought
didn't
like 4 or
tell
5
me
pairs.
this.
So, no. So she was like, "Do you want black or do you want blue?" And I was like, "Oh, for sure, get the blue ones."
Yes.
You did not tell me this.
No, I didn't. So I have blue furry ones coming.
And that was a good move by you, Zach,
can't
because she would have called Sherry.
Yeah.
I would have. I would have called her and said, "Don't do this."
Yeah.
I'm gonna see
Let
what
me
they
see
look
them,
like.
yeah.
I don't even know. She just is like, "You need size 12," and I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Okay, do you want blue or do you want black? Those are the only ones in size 12." And I was like, "Oh yeah, get the blue." I'm assuming it's gonna be these.
But blue.
Those are like light blue, but it could also be these. I hope that.
Them feet gonna be warm during winter.
I'm mad about this.
Yeah,
I'm mad about it.
What are you gonna do if I get you some Crocs, Ann?
I'm gonna burn them in my backyard.
Jake, I think you should get some. That's what I'll get you. I'll get you some.
Are we gonna exchange Crocs?
No.
You're gonna get me Crocs.
I can.
I feel like it would hit and register better if I got you Crocs.
He doesn't need any.
But yeah, you need
Remember,
some.
the whole plan is for you to have a pair for each room in the house.
Yeah.
No,
You just
we're
sit
not
'em-
doing
You
that.
sit them right in the hallway.
Yeah, and I
just change.
I
right
change
before-
them as I go into each room.
No, we're
Yeah.
not. We're not doing
Like
that.
these are my bathroom Crocs. These are my other bathroom Crocs.
These are my bedroom Crocs.
Yeah.
These are my downstairs Crocs.
This is not a thing that's gonna happen.
These are my
It's
podcasting
not.
Crocs.
Yeah.
You just have them sitting in your chair right there, and you just throw them on when you go to sit down.
Yeah. These are the Balenciaga ones that.
Holy
They come in different
moly.
colors, but they're like
You wouldn't wear them,
$800.
man?
No.
Those would be hard to wear. I would think. They
What do
got
you want for
heels
Christmas,
on
Ann?
them. Her 2 front teeth.
You want a Keurig?
No, I actually I had a really nice Keurig I just gave to a girl a couple months ago because I was like, I don't use it, and
Oh, she really needed it.
She was
well,
homeless. Yeah.
She
Oh, for real?
No, why would she get
she
a
was
Keurig?
she just got accepted to a college, and so she's like, I need one for my dorm room, and I was like, you can take mine. I had used it 3 times, and it's not been touched in 2 years.
3 times a sublime.
Well, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Smashing Heads on Twitter, at Smashing Heads Podcast on Instagram. You can follow us on Facebook too. It's just anything you see on Facebook is just cross-posted from Instagram because they're all the same company. They're all in the metaverse now. So, other than that, we'll be back with you next week. And until then,
Have a good night, everyone.